CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Two brazen robbers who tried to pull off a violent smash and grab at a downtown Victoria jewelry store last year have pleaded guilty. The two were charged with robbing Paul Mara Jewelers on Fort Street last April. The men smashed the display cases and pepper sprayed employees before making off with about $300,000 in jewelry and other merchandise. One man was arrested on the street, another taken into custody after hiding out in a rooftop air conditioning unit. Both men are back in court for sentencing next week. Saanich police have released photos of the armed robber who yesterday morning held up the TD Bank at Quadra and Mackenzie. Police were not able to track the robber down, but they did find dye packs which exploded as he ran through a parking lot nearby on his way out. Witnesses say he's a white man, 35 to 40 years old, about 5'9" to 5'11", wearing a black hoodie, red toque, blue jeans and runners. If you have information or you recognize the man from that surveillance photo, you're asked to contact Saanich Police. Victoria police have arrested a 19-year-old man and have recovered stolen property, but they cannot replace a young family's sense of security after a burglary Saturday morning. The suspect was picked up after crashing a stolen Jeep along the Galloping Goose. Police say he had a laptop with him, also credit cards and other items that weren't his. When they returned the items to their owners, the victims didn't even know they had been burglarized while they slept, and their young son was especially upset.
So all the recovered items were actually returned yesterday to the family. They're very grateful to have them back, especially the little boy who was very distraught that somebody had broken into his house while he was asleep. And a young kid, and he understood that and understood the ramifications. So our officers certainly taken that amount of time, special time with him to make sure he was okay.
Police are crediting the 911 caller in getting that stolen property returned so quickly. Vic PD is recommending 7 charges against a 19-year-old man, ranging from drunk driving to break and enter. An 11-year-old girl is recovering from what RCMP are calling a senseless act after she was exposed to pepper spray at her Nanaimo Elementary School. The girl was heading back inside from recess at McGurr Elementary in Nanaimo when she unknowingly touched a door handle that someone had sprayed pepper spray onto. She then touched her eyes, and moments later they were watering and swollen, and she was in extreme pain.
It is distressing to realize that somebody's come to your school and done something like this, knowing full well that there's small children on the playground who are very likely to be injured by this.
It's a stupid idea. You're causing a lot of discomfort to a young child who can't quite understand why it's happening. So we want to get the message out that it's totally inappropriate to do something like this. And if it was a prank, it's a dumb prank and it should never be repeated.
The young girl was taken to the hospital as a precaution but was released a short time later. School staff say they washed the spray off the 3 door handles. Police say it probably happened overnight. If you know anybody who did this or have any information, you're asked to contact Nanaimo RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Well, if you won't put down your cell phone while you're driving, Victoria Police Chief Jamie Graham has an idea. He's suggesting that police take it away. If you're caught texting or talking on the cell phone behind the wheel, Graham suggests police should have the power to seize your phone for 24 hours. The Association of BC Chiefs of Police has passed a motion to request changes to the provincial laws, which would allow the cops to drop your phone into a seizure bag and take it to the police station for 24 hours. They also would like to seize your car. And the idea may not be that far-fetched. Justice Minister Shirley Bond says she's willing to talk about it with the chiefs.
With the latest round of statistics given out by the RCMP, it's pretty obvious that there's a big segment of the population that either just doesn't get it or is deliberately attempting to flaunt the law. So it might be in order for the police officers to have the authority to seize the cell phone for 24 hours.
It's pretty pointless because you can just easily get your cell phone replaced.
Texting and driving is like one of the worst things that you can do.
That seems a little bit like it won't fly, but it's a good idea, you know?
And given the seriousness of texting and driving, the police chiefs also want the fine for distracted driving to be increased from the current level of $167. Driving while using a handheld device in BC has been illegal since 2010. Well, there was a distraction for drivers on the Pat Bay Highway this morning. A slippery mess left after a tanker truck spilled its load of cooking oil all over the road. The oil went down the northbound lanes just north of Sayward on the Pat Bay. Police say about 60 liters of cooking oil had leaked out of a tanker. Caused some traffic headaches during the morning commute. The fire department was called in to clean up the mess. It's the 3rd roadway oil spill in the capital region in about as many weeks. A robber held up a gas bar in the Harbour City last night at gunpoint, making off with some cash. Happened just after 7 o'clock at the SO on Terminal Avenue in Nanaimo. Police say the robber violently forced an employee to the ground before rifling through the till and taking off.
There's only one clerk in the store. He grabbed the clerk, threw him to the ground, then he went through the till, grabbed an undisclosed amount of money, ran out the front door. We had members on scene within minutes. Police dog services were called, and they tracked this individual to the area of Juniper and Estevan, where the track stopped, which most likely means that a vehicle was used.
The robber was a white man about 6 feet tall, wearing a purple mask, a dark hoodie, and blue jeans. If you know who did it or have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers or Nanaimo RCMP.